showed up at Ring of Honor again. I didn't know if that was going to happen. I haven't worked with them since I think February, so it was nice to get the call to go back to the tapings, and it was pretty successful.
And that's something that right off the top jumped out to me because last time we spoke, you were not signed there. You were just like, maybe I'll go there, maybe I won't. Has that changed? Are you with the company now?
I'm still affiliated with them. I have not signed anything. Still free agent.
Interesting.
Just doing my thing and having a good time there.
So how were those tapings? Again, you mentioned you didn't know if you were going to go back. I know that they had like a bubble set up. There were a lot of things going on there.
The tapings were really cool. I think they're doing a great job of keeping everyone safe and making sure that the tapings go as smoothly as possible. I know it's weird to not have fans there, but the setup they have is awesome. And if you've watched it, everyone knows that they've done a great job. And there's just like a whole different level of intensity just having two guys out there with no crowd. I think, they're doing a good job.
Anytime I speak with people on the inside of Ring of Honor, they'll tell me about the changes that have been implemented and the changes that are coming. And I've heard of some pretty big changes that I haven't really put out there yet, but some of them we've seen are the production side of things. Like, it looks completely different than what it used to. Has that required any adjustment on your part as a performer, or are the cameras sort of finding you, so to speak?
You still have to look for the cameras, but you're also not looking out to the crowd for that like affirmation.
Yeah.
You're more worried about your match. You're more focused on your opponent, and I think that translates to TV. It shows that we're competitors actually trying to win a match. We're not really out there like you know trying to play to the crowd too much.
You had your match with Jay Lethal. Tell me how that felt to you, because I mean that was a big performance for you. I mean, I think it opened a lot of eyes for people that knew you primarily as a tag team wrestler to have this type of match.
It was an opportunity for me to show a different side of me. And if you have been following my career, you know that I've been working as a singles competitor outside of ROH
Sure.
for years. I've been doing my thing. So this was kind of my chance to show people what I've been doing outside of ROH. So if you didn't follow my career, this is a good way for you to see what I'm capable of. Everyone thinks I'm just a high flyer and just I can only do tag wrestling, but I pride myself on being a really good technical wrestler, and I think I opened some eyes.
We've seen a lot of that, especially of late. And I mean, again, those that may have come to know you in ROH, if they're seeing like WrestlePro or Synergy or anything like that, they're seeing a lot of singles work out of you and a lot of matches that are going 10, 15, 20 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
After working in a team for as long as you did, was that an adjustment or was it second nature to you?
Well, yeah, because I mean, from a conditioning standpoint, it's a little different because you kind of get those breaks working with the team. But knowing that I'm switching gears and going back to my roots and just working as a singles wrestler, I knew I had to just up my conditioning, especially this year. So during the pandemic, I was just working out like a madman and just making sure that I was prepared. I didn't know if I was going to go back to ROH, but I knew if wherever I did go, I was going to be on my own, not with coast to coast. So I needed to be ready physically.
Do you still keep in touch with Shaheem? How does that work out?
Yeah, we're still close. I was just talking to him this morning, so he's doing okay. I don't know what's next for him. I know he still has a lot of love for Ring of Honor, so he might pop up there again. But I know I've been seeing him at the Monster Factory at those events.
Yeah, Monster Factory, of course, Danny Cage is always doing great stuff over there, but you were doing some great stuff in Alaska, of all places. Please tell me about this trip.
Yeah, so the last one was fun because we actually did two events. The first two trips, we only did one event each.
Mm-hmm.
So this one in September, we did two events. One was right outside of Anchorage, and the other one was in Soldotna, 3 hours from Anchorage. And I've been telling people that it's a whole different world. Like COVID doesn't exist out there. We had two packed houses. It's a little crazy. Two packed houses, no one wearing a mask. All the rest, we took care of ourselves. We had to get tested to wrestle. And,
yeah,
we all like kept our distance from the crowd as much as possible. But out there, it's just a different world. It kind of felt like 2019 again.
and I know that at one point there you had a dog collar match. Was that your first dog collar match?
It was. So I think like my new gimmick in Alaska is just doing the first of different kinds of matches. I was in the first ladder match. Then I did the first dog collar match. And then they just announced I'm in the first Singapore Cane match, which is
Oh,
coming
wow.
up in April. So, dog collar match was fun though. It's
Also,
very intense.
was the match that you had with Jay, was that your first Pure Rules match? Because they just recently brought that back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, first one. So I mean, I was watching when I was a teenager. I was watching the Pure Rules matches before they unified the belts. But then I never got a chance to wrestle a Pure Rules match. And so this is my first time.
And I've heard that within Ring of Honor, there's some consideration to having like declared divisions, so to speak. Like if you want to compete and go after that Pure Rules title, you sort of declare what kind of match you're going to have. Pure Rules match, standard match, or whatever. Do you think that's going to catch on? Because, I mean, here's the thing. There weren't indies doing a lot of ladder matches before the likes of WWE were doing ladder matches. Could you see independent promotions picking up Pure Rules matches and sort of creating, I don't want to say a farm system, but creating their own division, so to speak?
Definitely. And there are a lot of guys out there that could really show off what they're good at. Like there's a guy, Lee Moriarty,
Oh, I
and
just interviewed him. He's amazing.
blowing up, and like that's the perfect division for him. So if he's not going to work in Ring of Honor one day, I think I could see him kind of like spearheading that on the indies and almost like taking that around to all the events he does. It says, no, you're going to wrestle like a Pure Rules style match, whatever they want to call it.